As someone who makes rugs for a living, I feel I have a certain responsibility to share with you all how I do it. Don't get me wrong, I totally understand how it can feel super intimidating seeing artists work and feeling like you could never create anything similar to that. But I assure you, literally anyone can create beautiful rugs. Now granted, you're gonna need a few supplies before you can get started. That includes a tufting gun, some monk's cloth, a frame, and some yarn. But once you have that, you're pretty much ready to go. I've broken my rug making process into 3 essential steps, and that first step is designing the rug. So let's get started and make an awesome rug together. Hi everyone, my name is Adam, and just like I said, we are going to get started with this rug by creating the design for it. Now when coming up with your design, really the sky's the limit. You can create almost anything that you can imagine. So if you take a look at my design, you can see that I took a lot of inspiration from Antoni Gaudí and his tile mosaics, but along with that, I wanted to include an element that I really enjoy. And for me, that was including different shapes in it. So once you get the design completely made, you are now ready to start putting it onto the frame. To do that, I just use this basic pen to trace it onto my monk's cloth. I'm really drawn to shapes. I think they're really fun and interesting, and they can bring a lot of design and pattern work to it that I really enjoy. And I was also an engineer and have spent my life working with shapes. So it's just something that I'm really drawn to at the moment. When designing this rug, I tried a bunch of different colors in the tile to see what really worked, and I ended up choosing these yellow, blue, purple, and red colors, and I think they look really beautiful together. And from there, you're ready to move on to step 2. Now that we've made it to part 2 of the rug tufting process, this is where we actually get to start making the rug. While this is the most time-consuming part of the entire rug process, it is also one of the most satisfying. I mean, that's mostly because this is when your idea that you came up in your head starts to become real, and it's something that you get to start feeling and seeing. Many people tuft their rugs in different orders, but for me, my favorite way to do it is starting with the outside border. I think it just makes it a lot more cleaner and it helps contain the entire rug. Once I get done using this black yarn, I then move on to white, but I actually ran out of white yarn and had to wind some more. Now the reason I like to wind my yarn and turn it into these little cakes is because it makes it a little bit easier for the tufting gun to pull it out and stick it into the monk's cloth. This just makes your tufting process a little bit easier and prevents any snags while you're tufting. So once I'm finished with this white line work, I'm finally able to start moving on to the colorful tiles of the rug. This part is super satisfying to watch back, and the time lapses make it really cool to just see the entire rug come to life. And once you get done tufting, you're left with a beautiful rug just waiting to be cut off the frame. And that brings us to part 3. You've spent a lot of time making this rug, and now it's time to add the finishing touches. Well, that brings us to part 3. Finishing the rug. The first step to finishing, and this is usually the part that takes the longest, is you're going to want to glue the back of the rug. You can just use some basic carpet adhesive, that works perfectly fine, and you're going to want to spread it on the entire back of the rug, making sure that you cover all of the yarn. Then, depending on who you ask, you're going to want to leave it sitting there for 8 to 24 hours. 24 hours is definitely a little bit excessive, but you know for sure that the glue is set and it's going to stick and hold everything. Now that the glue's all dry, you're going to want to cut it from the frame. Make sure you leave about a 1-inch border going all the way around. This is going to be an important step because we're going to take that little strip of border and we're going to cut it up and then use some hot glue to glue it down. This just gives it a really clean edge and it makes it look really nice. Once you have that finished, you're going to want to take your backing. I like to use just a basic felt backing, and you're going to want to glue that to the back of the rug. I just use some spray adhesive, spray the back of the rug, spray the felt, and stick it on there. Once that's finished, I like to take my hot glue gun and glue down the edges of the felt to the rug, just so that it starts to look really clean and polished. This is when I add any of my last finishing touches to the rug. I might cut any stray particles or vacuum the top of it, just to give it that really nice and clean, polished finish. Once you finish this last and final step, you're ready to see the finished rug. And here it is in 3, 2, 1. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you learned something new about my tufting process. In the end, I am super happy with how this rug came out. I think it is super cute. I love the design and the colors. And if you want to take this home for yourself, I'll have a link down below where you can purchase it from my rug shop. Besides that, if you like my rug making videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I'll be making a ton more rugs on this channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.